Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's Cooking in Blackstone. It's January 14th, and we've got two great people here with us. We've got our old standby, my co-host, Lynn Morin, who's going to be doing a nice little appetizer type thing, and you can also use it as desserts.
Yeah,
and
edible spoons.
Edible spoons, so that's a great thing. And then to my right here is John Wozniak, and he is going to teach us how to eat healthy lunches, how to prepare them and to eat them, and I guess, well, you'll know how to eat them. So, so with that said, we'll get right on to Lynn, and she's going to show us how to do these wonderful little things that she makes.
Hi, everybody. It's very, very simple. I know people like simple things to do, and these are delicious. They're edible spoons. So all you need is a pie crust. You don't have to make your own. Margot does. She makes great pie crust, but I don't. This is bought pie crust. You need one of these little spoon cutters, and you'll need filling and whatever you want to put in it. And this was a gift that was given to me by a really sweet girl from Blackstone. She's a school teacher, Colette Newman. Thank you. I've had so much fun with this. It's been a blast. So I'll get right into it. Here's the pie crust, and you take the little cookie cutter thing, and you can make the pie crust. Out of one pie crust, you can probably get maybe 8 to 10 little spoons. And then you just take them out like that, right? And then you'll need some tin foil, and I just take a 4x5 piece of tin foil, and I put it in these little ceramic spoons, and you put them on there, and you mold it. So then you get like a little mold, and then you just take the little piece of pie crust and you put them in there, and then you bake them. You bake them at 350 for about 14 minutes. And this is the end result right here. Cute little edible spoons. Want to bite, John? No? Okay. But I have these nice fillings. You can use anything. I mean, if you have an imagination, you can put anything in these. This is a combination of cream cheese and brown sugar and maple flavoring. And you can just put it in there. Some people, you can pipe it in there, but I'm not that fussy. And then you can put a little piece of fruit, or you can put like chocolate chips or anything like that. And then you just pick it up and eat the whole thing. They're really, really easy, and they're a lot of fun. This lady, Colette, had seen this done at a wedding, and that's all they served, was just these little edible spoons. So just a cute little thing to
So they
think
can
about.
be both dessert and like entrees. So.
Right. You can do, one of the things I looked up was shredded corned beef. I know that's not healthy, but shredded corned beef, and you put that on there, and underneath it, you can put coleslaw, or you can melt cheese on it. Doesn't that sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's my little demonstration here today, and they're fun to make. And like I said, one pie crust, you can make probably 8 to 10 little hors d'oeuvres. So it's a quick, easy fix, and it's fun.
How about the chocolate? You didn't describe the chocolate.
Oh, it's
we
just.
have to know about that. I mean, everybody's looking at it.
All right,
We're drooling.
It's just chocolate pudding. You can just make it the way you make chocolate pudding, and you just put it into this little thing, right? Whoop, that one fell. I'll eat that one. And then you can make little like chocolate cream pie bites. Voila. So good, so good. And believe it or not, John, there's not a lot of calories in that. It's just a bite size. So don't yell at me.
Yeah, it's just the bites though.
It's
the bite count. How many bites are you gonna have?
Well, I could probably eat all of those, right? But they're fun to make, and it's just a nice little thing to have. Valentine's Day is coming up, so you could probably melt chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, and then put like a cherry or something on it. You can, if you have a wild imagination, you can just make anything. So that's it. That's it for my demonstration. Now you're on, John.
All right. Mine's not so much what to cook, but more so a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and they always have that that four-letter word, that word diet. I'm here today just to kind of talk to people about how to kind of get away from the word diet, which has come to be known on a temporary basis. A diet's a temporary thing. More along the lines of how to eat healthy and change your lifestyle so that your weight loss is not only significant, but it's also permanent, and it's something you live with. And just so you know, I mean, what I'm going to be talking about doesn't mean you can't indulge from time to time.
You have
I mean,
to.
you have to. And,
You have to.
And you know, in terms of what my eating plan and the way I eat is, I have once a week a cheat meal where I can go have whatever I want. And that has ultimately turned to be healthier and healthier as time's gone by. So, but let me get started, because what is the key to, I think, eating healthy is preparation. What I found was I had kids, and you know, kids have activities, and what I found myself doing is when I got out of work, first of all, working all day, not really eating right during the day, lots of cups of coffee, and then taking the kids to their activities, ending up at soccer games and hockey games and eating whatever was available, and then getting home and just gorging myself, whatever was available, just eating, and then going to sleep. And it's just really unhealthy. I woke up one day weighing 308 pounds.
308?
Yep, 308 pounds. Well, just look at my picture from the 2011 Memorial Day Parade.
300 pounds.
Yeah, I think I was taking up a whole lane on that parade.
Yeah.
So
You were a big boy?
yeah, it was, yeah. I was going to bring the picture. I left
You
it at home,
should've.
but
You
it was, I was big. And right now my weight is just under 200 pounds. So I lost almost a little over 100 pounds.
Wow. And
So-
how long did that take you?
It really took me probably about 8 months, but I also do competitive bodybuilding, so it's a little bit of that. But I don't want anybody to think that that's the only reason why. You can eat healthy, lose weight, stay permanently at that weight loss, and do it not through diet. Diet's a four-letter word. Change of lifestyle, adopting a different lifestyle, it's healthier eating. Not saying you can't go out to restaurants, not saying you can't indulge from time to time, but you have to be careful about what you're eating, because restaurants have a tendency to have lots of processed food, lots of chemicals, lots of sodium incorporated into food for preservation purposes and the like. So you end up getting more unhealthy and unwanted, unnecessary weight gain. And this is more of a clean way of eating. Now, the first thing I do is on the weekends, and I usually start on Sundays and in midweek, is I pre-prepare all my meals. And what that entails is I have a steamer here, and if I could get the asparagus and the sweet potatoes. I have some asparagus here, and I have a two-stage or two-tier steamer, and I start off with fresh green vegetables. It doesn't have to be asparagus. It can be spinach, it can be green beans, it can be Brussels sprouts, it can be broccoli. With the asparagus, what I like to do is, only because by leaving the entire stalk, the bottom end of the stalk seems to get a little tough. I just cut it off, just to tender, so it's a little bit more tender. Put it into the steamer.
What do you do with those? You don't throw those away, do you?
Yeah, I usually just
You
throw them
do?
away. Well, you know what?
Seems like a waste.
Well, they're tough though. They're really hard to eat, and when you're eating them, it really detracts from the flavor of the asparagus, which is really tender. But no matter how much I've tried to cook them, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
But you know, some people like to
Let me
eat.
pop in
comes.
here. Okay, this is how I always learn. Farmer's daughter. When we would do it, we would take them, and where you break it,
Yep. That's
where it's tender, and it's just about exactly where you cut it.
Yep. Well, you know what? I only learned through. First of all, the stuff can get expensive, so I've learned through the cost of it, where to cut it. So, and you can kind of also tell, Margot, by the coloring. The darker coloring is the more tender portion of it, and the lighter coloring is the tougher part. And also, if you notice, sometimes they'll be really, really thin. So these asparagus will be really, real thin.
I like them thin.
And the thing about the thin ones is that the stalk that's a little tougher runs a little higher. At least I found that. So, you know, in terms of breaking them, I guess you can go to each individual one, but it seems to be a little bit more efficient just to cut the thing right through. Now, understand there's a difference between being the country girl and being the country guy and being more volume oriented. But and then what I do is I just take the first layer, and I do this on Sundays. And it's, you know, instead of sitting around and you know, sitting on the couch or watching, except for football, except for like the Patriots and whatnot.
Yep.
But ordinarily, you know, for the most part, you know, it doesn't take that long. The way I'm going to show it to you is not any gourmet treats at all. And then, in addition to the green vegetables, what you want is you want some type of a high-end carbohydrate. Now, there's carbs in virtually everything, some better than others. White bread has carbs in it,
right.
but it also has a lot of sugar,
Right.
and it has a lot of bleach and the like. What I do is I
not
just
good
take sweet
stuff.
potatoes and cut those in half. And I'm just going to do a couple just to.
With the peel? John, you're not peeling them. Is that okay?
That's okay because, and as I said, it's a personal preference.
Oh,
When I take my food and I either microwave or heat it,
Mm-hmm.
I leave that on because it seems to preserve the moisture in the sweet potato. So when I eat it, then I can peel it off, and
okay.
it doesn't get as dry.
oh,
So this is all about cooking for tomorrow as opposed to cooking for today and right now.
boy, we're learning all kinds of new stuff, Margot.
So, and as I said, it's just been a system of, you know, of trial and error and whatnot. So then when I put that in, it's just simply done, and then just turn it on, put it aside, and just go about doing whatever else you're going to do. Now the second part of it is because what a lot of folks do is, and this isn't the only thing, what you also have is things like salad and vegetables, which I also incorporate into the food bag. And a lot of people have salads and whatnot, and what they do is they go and they put dressings on them, Russian and that kind of thing.
Peppercorn, all those.
Peppercorn,
all
and then
those
they think
creamy
because the label says fat-free that somehow they're going to be
Yeah.
absolved of the calories and the other things.
No.
There's certain things that companies put in the products that create the fat-free label.
things. Right.
So what I do is I just have virgin olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put a little bit of that on, and I like vinegar. Now you
I do
remarked that you had somebody new used lemon juice.
Lemon juice. Margot's sister uses lemon
Yeah.
juice. I like that too.
Yeah, and I just love the vinegar because it also
Balsamic,
yeah,
or-
balsamic,
yeah.
because it also has the secondary effect of loosening up your joints as you
Vinegar does?
yeah, it really helps out with your joints and keeping the lubrication in joints and whatnot if you have, especially in cold, damp.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know, when
Vinegar
you're
does that?
I'm not a spring chicken anymore, so it's like
Really?
yeah, and then you just put it in, shake it up, and put that aside, and then other snacks during the day. You know, when you get a little bit of hungry, rather than just try to muscle your way through to dinner or muscle your way to the next meal, I've got carrots and cucumbers that I cut up that are already there and available, so you can eat those as you go. You get a little bit hungry, and they seem to address the immediate hunger. There's all kinds of other things, cottage cheese and the like. Now, one of the things that I do is I pre-cook a lot of things like rice. And this is just a simple brown rice, and it's just boiled. What you have to understand when you're dealing with food, and because we're in, you know, most people are in such a hurry and they have very little time, this just took less than 10 minutes to put all this together. This probably took me another 15 to 20 minutes to do thoroughly. The rice is only 10 minutes to boil it in a bag.
Boil it, yep.
But you have to understand, you always got to be careful with regard to labeling. Don't look at what the manufacturers put on the front of the box. Look at what the government requires of them to put on the side. Now here's one example. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you look at this box, the sodium content of this product is zero sodium, which is salt. It's not very healthy to have an abnormally high amount of salt. It's bad for your heart, your vascular system, and the like. Here's another product. This product is a ready to serve. Any pre-processed food automatically should have warning signals come out. This has 560 megs of sodium per serving. It's just unbelievable. So this 0 megs, this 560. Just as by way of example, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce has 1,000 mgs of sodium in it.
1,000?
1,000. 1,000 mgs of sodium.
Wow.
A lot of people don't understand that when I'm watching people cook and they're just dumping a bottle of soy sauce. It's 1,000 mgs of sodium per tablespoon. And it's, as a matter of fact, we do what's called a sodium load, and some people do it in the course of bodybuilding. And when we do it, we do what's called a sodium load, and we do 5,000 mgs of sodium on a daily basis. And the way I do it is, I dump a tablespoon of sodium into my food 5 times a day. Now,
Like, what do you mean?
well, if I'm going to have a meal, I'll have my meal, and my meal will consist of chicken, asparagus, and rice. I'll dump a tablespoon of soy sauce into that, mix it in, and I'll eat it with the soy sauce so I can infuse the sodium into my body. It's just something I do for a sport. It's not really something you do on a daily basis. But the high content of sodium in such things as soy sauce in processed food is something you really need to be aware of if you're going to maintain some type of a weight loss that's going to be permanent. You got to be attentive to the labels. Margot, if I could get now, I don't. I eat a lot of different things, and but for the purposes of this, and you can do this with anything. I eat fish, or chicken, steak, and buffalo. I eat buffalo from time. Buffalo is an incredible.
Is this
buffalo.
a joke?
No, buffalo is an incredible source of protein, and it's extraordinarily lean. So if you're going to have, I have ground buffalo with tilapia mixed in with 2 eggs, and sometimes I put in brown rice for a meatloaf, and I brush barbecue sauce on it. Margot doesn't.
Margot's gagging over in the corner.
Well, Margot, do you notice? Margot won't touch the chicken either.
No, she won't.
So
I told you she has issues.
But I always use organic chicken, and some people say that they can't. And I understand the price of food is extraordinary.
It's very high.
But I found the same chicken, range-fed, grain-fed organic chicken in Market Basket that I found in Whole Foods. Yep, the
Same thing?
same packaging, same everything.
And
you
a
have
lot
to look
cheaper,
for
right?
it. A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper,
You
yeah.
have to look for it, but when you find it, buy it in quantity, and buy it, and you know, as I said, looking for it. And once you freeze it, it's good for a significant period of time. And most families will eat it before, you know, it's not available again. Now, people say, well, one of the things they've always said is, oh, well, your diet's really bland. And it's not really. There's certain things that you can do to give your food flavor. I like and use a product called Mrs. Dash. There's all kinds of different flavorings they have, extra spicy. This is lemon pepper,
yeah,
which
that's a good one.
I like this with fish.
Yep.
This really
I like it
is
on chicken too. It's
Yep.
good. Yep.
And this is the Italian medley. So I'm going to use the Italian medley for this, and just sprinkle it on. And it's a little bit, the chicken's a little bit frozen, but it's pretty much thawed. Thanks to my wife who brought it out of the freezer. And then we've got the oven preheated between 350 and 375. That chicken will be done in about 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. Okay? Now,
You didn't put anything else on it? Nothing, just that?
Nothing, just that.
No, nothing, no olive oil, nothing?
No, you can though.
Yeah,
you can
see,
put a little olive oil
yeah.
on it, or sometimes what you can do is you can take some lemon,
That's what I
slice
do,
it up.
lemon and olive oil, that's what I do.
Oh, and put that on there, and
Yeah.
that works out really
Yeah.
well. I like it. I'm kind of a simple person when it comes to food, and like the just one spice and change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes I eat this cold. You know, the chicken I'll eat cold
Yeah.
because I'm on the road a lot.
Right.
Between going to courts and other lawyers' offices, so I'm on the road. That's why I like the asparagus especially tender,
Yeah.
because if it's not really tender, it's very difficult to eat when
Eat
it's
that,
cold.
yeah.
But you know, I also eat the fish cold
Ugh,
after it's
no,
cooked. Well, my
no.
wife says that I eat things that homeless people wouldn't eat. So, But anyway, I want to explain how I go about doing the food. I have a food bag, and
That is so cool. I can't
the
get over that.
the food bag has various compartments, and one compartment should always carry bottles of water. You should always be hydrated, and the best way of maintaining your diet is through water. Drink lots of water. I actually carry a case of water in my car, and even in the winter, it doesn't seem to freeze sometimes, but it's got to get extraordinarily cold.
Yeah.
But what you do is
Wait,
you take.
go ahead. Let me interrupt.
Yep.
I got a question. All right, and I always yell at my boss for this because he always has a case of water in his car too.
Yep.
But I tell him he shouldn't do that because it's subject to the fluctuations in temperature. And they say with the plastic in the summer, it's not good. So maybe it's okay in the winter, but in the summer you shouldn't do that.
No, there was a time when plastic contained a certain chemical.
PB.
Right.
yeah.
Right. That chemical has been removed,
Oh,
especially
alright.
from some of the bottled water. I use Poland Springs, which I
Yeah.
know it's been removed.
PBA free.
And I don't leave a case of water in my car probably lasts 2 weeks at the outside, and it sits in the back seat and it's relatively cool. So you're right to a certain extent, but they've had studies that say that water can stay in a car for significant periods of time. I keep the case in just because it's more convenient to reach back, and because of the volume of water I drink. I drink between 1.5 and 2 gallons of water a day. So
2 gallons.
yeah, so, well, Margot has seen me in the Board of Selectmen's meeting
yeah.
at times
Oh,
when I
look
have
at the
like a
jug.
gallon of jugs of water. But it's so,
You
so,
don't think that's excessive?
not, well, maybe it could be construed as somewhat excessive, but it makes you feel so much better. It really does.
But
It
you spend
flushes
half
your
your life in the
system.
bathroom.
Well, you know,
Really?
Okay, we don't have to go there.
Sorry.
That's
zip
another
it.
this is a family show.
Oh,
Let's
zip
keep
it.
the bathroom humor out of it. All right.
gosh.
But no, it's you know, it's just a natural bodily function. But the water helps fill you, so you don't have these cravings for, and it also flushes the toxins out of your body naturally. So if you are going to the bathroom, in all seriousness, it's the reason why is your body's expelling the toxins through the water that you're drinking. Otherwise, your body uses the water. So no, it's not really excessive. Consider that when you wake up in the morning, most people have between 1 and 3 cups of coffee. That's 1 or 3 cups of water. Always have a bottle of water before, a drink of water before you go to bed. Periodically during the day. Some people will try to muscle their way through the day and not drink and feel dehydrated,
Yeah, that's
headaches
true.
and
That is true.
dizziness and
Yeah.
the like. So it's when you take a gallon and spread it out over the course of a day, it's really not that
Yeah, but
much
you just
water.
said 2 gallons. I'd
Well,
like
I
to see
drink
a
2
gallon
gallons.
thing here in
He
front
goes over. Now, the other thing on water consumption, just so people will know, I know a lot of people, especially as you get older, if you just keep on drinking water, you flush out the electrolytes out of your system, and you can end up with like potassium deficiency and stuff like that. So you have to also be careful about the water going in if you're not taking in enough of things, like if you're not drinking, I don't know,
Nutrients.
vitamin water, I've never drank that, but
No.
something
No.
that can replace the electrolytes, because that's what flushing does, is it?
Well, it does. Listen, anything that we talk about with regard to food, especially when you're going to change significantly your
Yeah.
eating patterns and whatnot, always talk to your doctor about it first.
Right.
Yes.
And don't do anything, that's, and everybody knows, I mean, I'm a bigger person than you are, so my intake of water and food is going to be different. Adjust it to your own personal
Size, right.
size and
Yeah.
weight. And
Right.
and the other thing is, listen, if it doesn't work, don't give up. Keep trying, because eventually, as the days go by, you'll make it through a day, and then you'll kind of trip a little bit and do something. You have a double dog, and then you'll
Or a whoopie pie.
a whoopie pie, and then next time you'll make it 2 days or 3 days, and then you'll find it's getting easier, and then you'll get to the point where that doesn't even taste any good, and you're just like, what did I waste my calories for? And it's true.
Whoopie pie? I don't think so.
Well, I know.
She's
That was my lunch yesterday.
I know
At
I-
Daddy's Donuts.
See, look at this.
Hot
See,
out
I
of
have
the
to eat
oven.
that because it was broken.
I know that when I eat a piece of white bread now, I can actually taste the sugar in it. It's
Really?
because you become so sensitized
Yeah.
to the other things that, we've got warning labels on cigarettes. We've got warning labels on alcohol. There should be warning labels on food. we've got an epidemic of obesity in this country.
That's true.
And yet we let these fast food places put these huge billboards pushing this stuff on our children, pushing on us. Everything's fast food, fast food, fast food. This is a systematic way to kind of change things so you're not dependent on it. That you pre-cook everything. See, this is just sitting here, we're talking.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just cooking away, and that's what I do. I start it, go about doing whatever else I need
Put
to
up
do
your
that
Christmas
day.
decorations.
Put up more, take them down, or
Put 'em down.
or take them
Which
down.
we enjoyed thoroughly.
Yep.
Loved it.
But but you get to do other things like the chicken. It took me 5 minutes to put the chicken together.
Yep.
I usually cook, just so you know, I usually cook 4 packages of that chicken at a time. And then I put it in. So if I want a snack, I just take a piece of chicken out. I take like a dropper full of a barbecue sauce, dip it in it, use that because you can, use certain things to help you over the hurdles. But with regard to the chicken, it's, barbecue sauce and the like. So the bag that I was referring to is this bag. And if you look inside, it has Velcro shelves that you can move. Okay? So if you want to put your salad, right, you can put your vegetables in there,
Right.
off to the side. Oftentimes, I just actually take the cucumbers, break them in half, and just put them in
Just like that?
because I'm just lazy and it's just easier for me when I'm driving down the road.
Yeah, just
I
reach
did
in
this.
there.
I did this for all presentations, so everybody see how nice it looks. But ordinarily, I just take cucumbers, break them in half, and put them in the
Throw 'em
bag.
in there, yeah.
But with the salad, sometimes I like to break up the diet and the eating with this. So, but this fits right inside. You put a fork in there, some napkins, and you're all set. And in here, if we can get a shot of this, see, this is the finished product. These are the meals. So you have 3 trays. These bags actually come with 6 trays.
This is so nice. Where in the world did you get this? This is
Actually,
really-
I got this on Amazon.com. They come in different colors. They come in black, red, pink, gray. But if you look, there's 3 food trays, and each one has a meal in it, and it gets me through the day. So it takes me from the time I leave the house.
This is what you eat in one day?
This is what no.
Wow.
I eat breakfast and I eat dinner. These are what I eat during the day.
During the
Yeah,
day?
because this is what gets you through the day, so you're not snacking
So
on.
you're eating a lot.
Well, yeah, but
Well, it looks like a lot.
well, and it looks like a lot, but they're small meals.
Right, and
It's just
well balanced.
size.
Yeah.
Right, but see, I might eat more than you do, Lynn.
I'm sure you do.
But you might want to,
Maybe not.
well, without the whoopie pie. Without the whoopie pies. But listen, I got to tell you, I love baked goods, love pies. Somebody gave me a pie
Do you
and I
eat
was.
them now? Can you?
Well, from
do you-
time to time.
You will.
Yeah, you got to treat yourself.
Yeah, you do.
But somebody told me I was getting ready for a show, and a bodybuilding show. When you get that close, you're really dieting very strictly, so you can't really eat anything. It was my birthday. It was just before a show, and my people who work for me, they got me from the Roast House a chocolate cream pie. And if anybody's ever had a chocolate cream pie from Roast House,
Out of this world.
she's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. So he's like, oh, just have a small piece. I said, listen,
You ate the whole thing.
if I had, no, I didn't have any of it. Because I told him, if I have a small piece,
You eat the
I
whole
don't need
thing.
a plate. Just give me a fork, and that'll be done. So in any event, as you can see, that's still cooking away. See, I still actually have what I usually do with the cucumber, which is just break it and cut it and put it in the bag. And that's how I do my eating plan for the day. Now on weekends, you obviously don't need the bag, but the bag's helpful during the week when you're at work.
Yeah.
Because it's when you're at work that you can't, and I'll tell you, right now, when I walk into court, they have if anybody's ever been to a court, they've got the big signs, no food, no drink.
Right.
The court officers know of my eating plan, so they actually take my bag and put it off to the side. I actually, because I was getting close to a show, sent a letter to the New England Patriots, who then emailed me a letter saying I could bring my own food in because of my diet. So I had my fish in one of these containers, and it was just cold fish and tilapia. That's the kind of fish I had. And the security guy wanted to see the container. He goes, well, I got to see what's inside of it. So I turned it around, and he saw the cold tilapia in there. He's like, that's okay. I said, you want me to open it? He said, no, it's all right. So, but that's kind of how you go about, at least how I go about the diet in terms of eating and eating differently and eating clean, what we call eating clean.
Clean, yeah.
But there's all kinds of variations. Cottage cheese has, a lot of protein in it.
How about ricotta?
No.
No, why?
No.
Too much salt?
Fat.
Too much fat?
Yeah, too much
You
fat.
gotta have some fat. in your
You got to
diet,
have
right?
some fat, but good fats. Almonds,
I love almonds.
okay? Almonds have walnuts.
Almonds,
Certain nuts have certain oils that are fats that are healthy fats. I mean, you need healthy fats in your diet.
Right.
I, from time to time, have strip steak. I'm not a huge beef eater. I've always liked poultry and fish, but
How about pork? Is that too?
now and then. I mean, everything's in moderation.
Supposed to be the other
but it
white
has to
meat.
be. That's what the commercials say.
That's what the commercials say. Yeah. The
But
yellow white meat.
it has to be ultra lean, and without a lot of fat.
Right.
And I'm Polish. My grandfather always used to say,
Kielbasa.
"Johnny, eat." Well,
Yeah.
my grandfather lived at the stove, but it was kielbasa, gołąbkis,
Yeah,
pierogis. Pierogis were dough in butter. That's
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, well, the problem with that type of food is so high in fat, so that it's just which artery is this going to clog? It's just a function of my grandfather had heart issues, my father had heart issues.
Well, yeah.
So in 2011, and we're talking May of 2011. That was the Memorial Day parade. I was on a sleep apnea machine.
Really?
Because of sleep apnea. I was taking high blood pressure medication. I couldn't go up 4 steps without having to catch my breath.
Was that when you were on the Board of Selectmen?
That was when I was on the Board of Selectmen. Sometimes I couldn't catch my breath from being on the Board of Selectmen, but I lost the weight. I no longer use the sleep apnea machine.
No, you don't.
Nope, not at all.
Because of this diet.
Because of the weight loss and because of
Right.
the diet, I don't take any high blood pressure medication.
Really?
My blood pressure is
No.
it's beyond normal. It's above average. It's terms of it's more of a because I work
You're an
out.
athlete too, so.
Yeah, so I work out a little bit more,
Right,
but
right.
it's the food's important. Exercise, activity. It's not even exercise. Don't even give it.
Moving.
Don't characterize things. Don't say moving. Right. Go
Just
for a
moving,
walk.
Right.
Instead of sitting on the couch, walk around your yard, and stay active. Stay upright. Stay moving
upright.
forward. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But there's another thing that a lot of people, because people say, well, I like bread, okay? And
This is really interesting because I've never heard of this.
I got to tell
I never did
you,
either.
I could sit with an Italian loaf of bread and a container of butter or margarine, and I could sit there and eat the whole thing. In one sitting. But what I found was there's a product called Ezekiel bread. And Ezekiel bread is 100% grain bread. This is a cinnamon raisin. I like this the best. It's frozen, it's organic, but it always has to say frozen because it's made from bean sprouts and other organic things. There's no preservatives in this. So if you let it thaw, it's just no good. So
Was it mushy if you let it?
yeah, it gets mushy, but when it's frozen, you can break it apart, put it in the toaster, put a thin layer of peanut butter on it, a little bit of jelly, and it's exceptional. And it kind of takes out the craving for
What is it for calorie-wise?
for calorie-wise.
What a slice of that versus a slice of white bread.
Well, calories, in terms of calories, this has, in terms of potassium, which Margot mentioned, this has 120 mgs of potassium.
Is that
The
good? That's good,
cholesterol,
right?
it has
Yeah.
0. Total fat, 0.
Wow.
Sodium, 65 mgs. It has 3%, which isn't bad, but
Right.
it's got 3
Protein,
grams.
A protein,
Yep.
yep.
It's got 3
Sugars.
grams. It's got 5 grams of sugar. It's got dietary fiber of 2 grams or 9%. Total carbohydrates, 18 grams, which is significantly less than a white piece of bread. But that's what it.
Yeah, but does it taste good, John? I don't,
and-
I don't be chewing on a piece of bark.
No, actually, the cinnamon raisin does.
Yeah?
The bean sprout regular
Yeah.
loaf takes a little getting used
Yeah.
to. I think you'd enjoy the cinnamon raisin.
I would,
one.
okay, I'll try
Yeah,
this.
This is a news flash.
Newsflash.
I noticed on your bread, your Ezekiel bread, it said Ezekiel 4:9. So I looked it up in the Bible, and it says, take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt, put them in a storage jar, and use them to make bread for yourself. You are to eat it during the 390 days you lie on your side. So you get on your side, John, and we will feed you. This is Ezekiel.
Lynn, where did she get this stuff?
I don't know. I told you she had issues. You don't believe me.
Well, Ezekiel was tied up. You know, they weren't very nice to him, and so this is how Ezekiel lives. So it's called bizarre behavior.
Yeah.
So, but I had to see that it's from the Bible how they make that bread.
Yeah, but it's all natural.
All that.
It's sprouts. Yeah.
We'll try it after, Margot.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll be the judge on it.
So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, a lot of this is not so much, I'm going to diet. Diet really is a 4-letter word. You really have to start a lifestyle of clean eating and healthy eating. That's really, this is not bad. I mean,
No, it isn't, John, really.
No, well, the thing is, though, if you sit there and consume this all the time and every day, and then it becomes...
Not every day, yeah.
Right, but for a treat
Special
now and
occasions,
then.
yeah.
And like I said, it's, you've got to give yourself a little bit of luxury, going out to a restaurant now and then.
Right.
But you just have to, the cream sauces.
Forget that. That's like a heart attack on a plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, and you say, well, I can't afford to eat healthy. Based on healthcare, medical expenses, doctors, loss of revenue from work, being able to enjoy your children, your grandchildren.
Yeah,
I mean, that has intrinsic value beyond dollars, but even, losing a week of work, what's that worth? So,
right.
I found that, you sleep better, you work better, you're more efficient.
That's amazing. You don't have to use that machine anymore.
No, I don't have to use that machine anymore. And I'll tell you, with this ethnic nose of mine, that thing was a killer. I put it was...
Couldn't breathe.
Well, no, it was always cut. It wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit.
They didn't make you for Polish noses?
No, they didn't make you for Polish noses. So
that's terrible.
No, and I was specially fit, and it still didn't fit. So I always had this perpetual cut at the top of my nose. So that's gone.
That's good.
Yeah, the machine's gone, and I just feel much better, more energy.
Look at that. Avocado. Now, is that bad? It says health starts here.
Well, see, when you look at this, it's got 45 megs of sodium, which isn't bad.
No.
And it's got 1 gram of sugar. It's not bad. So this really isn't that bad.
What is it?
It's a dressing.
Yeah, it's avocado vinaigrette. Low sodium, no oil added.
And you know what I did? I had tuna. When we had tuna on Monday, I had tuna. And what I did is I used mayonnaise, but I used very little of it. But you got to use something to bind it. And I used that. And I didn't have any fresh tomatoes, so I have tomato oil. So I just drizzled a little bit of tomato. I know he's looking at me already. Look at the look.
Yeah, see, you know what she does. What you do with food is you start off with something and you say, "Look at how healthy this is." As you get done adding the cheeses and the other sauces,
cranberries. I put cranberries in it.
No, cranberries are good.
Dried cranberries. Yep. So a little bit of tomato oil. It's natural.
Well, you know what?
He doesn't
as my wife, as I've been told, so's arsenic. But, the bottom line is you really have to try my buffalo meatloaf.
Oh no, buffalo.
We'll pass on that, John.
I don't even do chicken, John. I mean,
I know, but if you like,
you'd have a better choice.
Don't you like hamburger?
I do.
I know.
If you like hamburger, have you ever tried buffalo?
I haven't.
Yeah, I
just can't picture myself eating.
Well, I'm telling you, I did buffalo tenderloin, and somebody didn't know what it was, and they tried it, and my daughters swear by it now.
Really?
They thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, what's it taste like?
It tastes like
chicken,
tenderloin.
though.
No,
but it's wild. It has that wild taste.
No, they're all domesticated.
Everything tastes
like buffaloes are domestic. I mean, they're not running the prairies of Wyoming anymore. They're being shot by
don't talk about.
They're domestic. They're almost like beef cattle.
Can't you just do without meat though at all? I mean, wouldn't it be okay?
Well, there are people I know that are vegans.
Vegans, yeah.
Yeah, that they're vegans, but they have supplements that they take and other things they.
But they eat pasta. They eat a lot of pasta and
that's carbohydrates.
That's a lot of carbohydrates. Yeah, and they put the other things into their body through supplements and whatnot. Yeah. And I, like I said, I've never been a huge give me a steak and potato kind of guy. I've always liked poultry. I've always liked chicken and turkey. And You
Don't
know?
talk about
Another
turkey.
one, turkey. You know me with turkeys.
What
That
does she
can't
eat?
happen.
These
It's
things.
not good.
Yes, those.
Now you know when Nick goes to people's houses, right, he's going to grab anything he can see.
Poor
It's
man.
Me.
No,
Lynn
she
sends him food.
She's really a good cook. She cooks a lot of fish and,
I do fish.
and
Yeah.
shrimp and
Well,
lobster.
that has to be all
That's
fish.
another thing. It's the
Lobster.
shrimp with a little olive oil in a stir-fry
Yeah.
pan.
Yeah.
Mix
Yeah.
that with broccoli, spinach.
Garlic.
Oh, yeah.
I throw a little brown rice in there.
Yep.
The garlic. Right?
Yeah.
Mix it all up.
Like
That's
a shrimp,
incredibly
that's like a
healthy.
scampi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, without
Yeah.
the pasta, right?
Yeah, you can use the rice instead,
Yeah,
right?
use
Yeah.
the rice. I
Yeah.
use the rice and I use the brown rice instead of when I make my meatloaf. I
Yeah.
use the brown rice to bind it.
See,
Oh,
I
really?
like
Yeah.
brown. It's crunchy
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, this
Nutty
is
like, yeah.
Now I use
This-
bulgur. Bulgur. They call it bulgur here, but we call it bulgur in
Oh, yeah,
Armenian.
she's always eating that.
But I eat bulgur
Yeah.
pilaf, and I just, I use onions in there and cumin, and I flavor it with cumin, and I put onions, and sometimes I'll chop up parsley at the end and throw it in there. It's really good. I love it. I can just live on that.
It's it's a variety too. It's
Right.
changing it up. I mean, after
Yeah.
a while, chicken becomes.
blood.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Comes blood. Don't even talk to her. I
Yeah.
told you she
and
has
then-
issues.
And so you mix it, you cut up and make a little. Take some buffalo, put some avocado in it. Or beef
Avocado.
There you
or
go.
or avocado, right? And mix it in. I mean, everything in moderation, and you can have some variety. But like I said, the last thing you want to do is say, "Up, give up, throw your hands up."
Right.
No, just wake up the next day and start over again. Because once you get it, once it starts becoming
A part
of
of
your life,
Right.
then it's not a diet anymore. It's not a temporary thing. See, people, that's the problem. And there's no, people ask me, well, how'd you lose over 100 pounds? And I start telling them, oh, I can never do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, the opposite's true. You can't not do it. I mean, for your own health, for, to be around for your kids, for your grandkids, for your family, you really need to be healthy. And it's less expensive to be healthy. It's less expensive to be healthy than it is to be, unhealthy and,
Right.
and eat the kind of stuff, because when you add it all up and you eat, whoopie pie from time to time, but when you eat that stuff consistently
Oh, I
on
mean,
a
I
daily
would eat it every
basis,
day.
right?
Every other day.
But when
maybe,
you
but-
every other meal,
yeah.
If it was available.
But there's certain things like pancakes. Okay, when you
I
look
know.
at pancakes and you look at what the ingredients are, there's certain brands you can buy now, and the prices are comparable. And when you eat that way, when you buy a steak, as everyone knows, when you buy a steak, you eat a certain steak. The steak doesn't fill you, but you eat a higher cut, and it takes less to fill you
yeah.
quicker.
Like a filet mignon.
Right. Yeah, it's a smaller steak, and
Right.
it's the tender. It's tender, and it goes. It eats. Once you eat it, you seem like you're fuller quicker.
Full, yeah. Now, does the buffalo kind of taste like a filet mignon? Like
Yes.
that? It's like that good?
Very tender. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cut it with a fork. The tenderloin is phenomenal. It really is. I just had 2 days ago, so I can tell you it's really, really good.
Now, do you fry it?
No, I just broil it.
Or you broil it?
Yeah, I just broil
And you
it.
don't put anything on it?
Well, I see. Like I said, I'm a really simple person, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll put pepper on it, or but I won't use Mrs. Dash because it's just so good.
Really?
Yeah,
You
without
don't put
any,
olive oil, nothing?
nothing. No.
And no
nothing.
herbs? See, I love herbs.
Yeah, see, if you like herbs,
I
then
love all kinds of herbs.
but I like it plain.
Herbs.
I used to know herb.
Herbs.
Herb chambers.
How'd you know that?
Or peaches and herb.
Peaches and herb. Look at this poor thing now is sitting
Eat
here.
it.
I feel terrible to want to eat it, John. I'll have to
I know.
hide it.
Yeah, go in the corner
I
and
don't
eat
want
it.
him to
We won't
see me.
stare at you.
It's so bad. But I haven't eaten all day.
Well,
Poor
see, that's the problem.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's
and when you
very
say, well,
bad.
that's a lot of food. Well, you might think it's a lot of food, but actually, you'll lose weight eating like that than you will if you don't eat. Because
At
see,
all.
your body's smart.
That's right, I
Okay,
know
your
that,
body
yeah.
understands. So if you don't eat, and then all of a sudden you feed yourself
And you
and just
starve.
gorge yourself, your body's going to hold it. It's going
Yeah.
to hold the calories, it's going to hold
Yeah.
the fat, it's going to hold everything, because it doesn't know when the next time you're going to give it nutrients.
That's right.
So it holds everything. And then what happens is it starts piling on. It's like I said, one day I woke up and I said, when did I start wearing XXX?
Oh,
Triple X. And I'm like, man.
That's it.
That was it. And well, I had always gone to the gym and I thought I was active. And I didn't think I was that big. But when you look at pictures now, I had to get rid of all my suits because they were all way too big, you know?
Wow.
So,
Now, how long is that going to take?
that'll
How
actually
do you know when
probably
it's
take,
done?
well, I usually kind of go on the side of, I mean, the asparagus
done.
is, yeah, the asparagus is probably done now. The sweet potatoes may take a little bit longer. I probably should have put them on the bottom as opposed to the top. But like I said, I like to eat it. I usually eat the asparagus cold. So I like to kind of overcook it because I like it softer, but it's a matter of personal taste. Like if you go to restaurants, a lot of the asparagus in the restaurants is a little bit stiffer,
Yeah.
you know, a little harder.
See, I like roasted asparagus.
I
Is
like
that
that
bad?
too, with garlic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
garlic and olive oil.
Yeah.
Roast it.
You and garlic.
I love olive oil.
This is Lynn.
I'm married to an Italian, half Italian. I love olive oil. I
Yeah,
put it on.
but like I said, the key is when you're looking at it, and I kind of bought this just to show that
Yeah,
you know what the difference
that is
is.
scary. How much sodium is that's bad?
It's 580 mgs of sodium.
As
It's got
compared
2
to
grams of total fat and a half a gram of saturated fat. It's 2 grams of sugar, 5 grams of protein. It's got some vitamins and nutrients. But why would you want to do this?
When you can do that.
When you can do this,
And it's 10
go
minutes.
get your own green vegetables, your
And put
own
it in
carrots,
there,
and
yeah.
put it in there.
Right.
And everything is natural. You're still at zero.
Yep.
And-
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Right.
Cheaper probably.
And
too.
it is cheaper. I mean, I
What is
can't-
that? That's probably what, $4
I
or
think
something?
this was more than this.
Oh yeah, it is.
And this is, as you know, 4 bags.
I love that. I use
Yeah.
that. I'm having that tonight
Yeah, this is
with pork.
great.
I know it's pork.
This is great. Well, you know, from time to time, you know, you can
The
do
other
it.
white meat,
The other
John.
one.
The other
Yeah.
white meat.
As the industry would have you believe, right? So, yeah, well, of course, the other white meat, Margot doesn't want to talk
Oh, don't talk about it.
Now, that's going to be in my oven till it's done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
And
what
actually-
do I do with it?
Well, once it's done, I'm taking it all with me because
He needs
this
to
is-
eat tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to eat tomorrow, so
Oh,
I'm just going
okay.
to put it in my refrigerator. And I
Don't
brought
like
extra.
mixing it. He'll start drooling.
No, I brought extra Tupperware so I could bring it home with me.
Oh,
and,
good.
You
Okay.
know, and I'll store it, and then you know, I'll just and the nice thing is when you're done the night before, you can just set up your food trays, fill them, put them back in the refrigerator. So when you wake up in the morning,
Put it
these
on.
bags, just so you know, these bags come with ice packs.
That is so nice.
And what I wanted to show, and I kind of forgot about it, is that when these bags come with a soft pack type ice pack, but I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like it.
No.
No, so what I do, because I'm kind of paranoid and because the food's in, I get these packs
Oh yeah.
and freeze these, and they seem
yeah,
to,
nice,
for
yeah.
whatever, just fit like right into it,
Yeah.
okay? And there's a secondary pouch here, but this is more for like supplements and the like.
Oh.
So that if you're
All the
gonna,
little pills and everything.
right, if you're going to take like your multivitamins or your fish oils or things like that, you can put them up to the top. So,
Show it to him.
Oh, show it to them.
oh, so
Like,
this
oh,
is,
yeah.
it fits right on top of the
Thank you.
top of the bag, and then the ice packs are inside. So, especially in the midst of the summer, the hottest summer day, if the bag stays in the car with these packs, it'll last the whole day. The food will still be cold when you take it out of the trays. It's all, the whole bag is insulated.
That's wonderful.
But
It's made by Innovator.
it's, I think it's an Australian company, but you can, they actually have them on sale right now. Not that I make no money from these things,
All right.
but they actually have them on sale on Amazon.com. It was such a popular item.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
There's other companies that make them, but I kind of like this one. There's companies that make them that have more of like this style tray or different style trays that go in. But by the way, this stuff is not dishwasher safe. You kind of have to hand wash it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the seals.
Oh, this
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Well, that was an interesting.
We learned a lot of
We
stuff
learned a
today.
lot. Boy,
Thank you, John.
John Elder showed us all about the vegetables, how you peel them. Stuff. You showed us how to do. That's really very interesting, John. I mean, I don't think we could have come up with this.
No.
No, not in a
We
million
learned a
years.
lot of
But
stuff
thank
today.
you.
Yeah.
Well, no, my pleasure.
Yeah, it was really good.
My pleasure. The first time I saw this show, I thought it was a great show.
Yeah.
You guys are great. You're like naturals, you know.
Yeah, the Gold
I'm going to
Dust
buy you a
twins.
whoopie pie so when you want to cheat.
She's going to have it hanging from your car when you get in it.
Yeah, just guess who put it there. That's all.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And we've got shows coming up. We've got a lot of people lined up. a lot of people from town, a lot of people who used to live in town or have been through town or whatever. And
They're just dying to get on the show.
they're dying to
They're
get
dying
on
to
the
get on
show.
this show.
So, and we thank Paul and Ashley again for setting it up for us.
And they're going to eat all these goodies.
You're going to eat all those because now, see, we can't because he's going to watch us.
Make us feel guilty.
I already feel bad. I'll have a raspberry. And so that'll be my contribution. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. We'll be back in a few weeks with a new show. And thank you, John, for joining
John.
us,
Thanks
for
for
being a
having
brave
me.
guy. He wore his Moxie
That's right.
thing.
We made him.
Moxie.
Nick will be happy when he sees
We
that.
made him wear it.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you soon.
Bon appetit.
Bye-bye.